Hey guys, another week, another game dev vlog, and today we're going to do something a little different. For too long, I've been struggling with trying to stay focused and stay determined on the projects that I'm working on. I've shifted gears from working on Rotate to Blockworks and then kind of doubting different things. This has been getting crazy. So I've tried to do different plans in the past of ways to kind of just rethink everything that I'm doing in a better way and just figure out what's the best direction I should go. So I think it's time to slow down and to really think about that stuff again, because I can't just be putting effort in every direction and expect to get an effective result. So I need to be more concise with what I'm doing. So actually today I've got hooked up I've got it where you can see my screen. So yeah, right here I've got I'm just gonna be drawing on my screen. So that's not my normal handwriting, by the way. I'm not used to using the drawing tablet all that much. Alright, so I think the best place to start would be to just list everything that I'm working on. So based on my last video, I was saying that I was working mostly on Blockworks. I'm just gonna say BW right here. And then I also have Rotate. So Rotate. Now, what other stuff am I working on really right now? Well, I'm doing these vlogs, so I guess that kind of counts, but I'll kind of separate that. I'll separate that out a bit. And then there's any other random videos I've talked about doing. So, other vids. Okay, so we got that stuff. Now, let's see, is there anything else that I'm really working on that's all that important? As far as any music production, that's stuff that I do like to do. In case you guys didn't notice, I do have some songs that I've produced on this channel. Nothing too spectacular, but just some experimental things that I like doing. But it's not really a priority right now. It's just the main music that's going to be prioritized is ones for my games. So like in Blockworks, I'm going to be making music there. In Rotate, I'm going to be making music there. So okay, so music doesn't really count here, and I guess these are my main things. If there's anything to do with working on my website or anything like that. Alright, so it looks like these are basically the main things that I'm doing right now. And this one, the other vids, isn't really even a priority. It's just other stuff that I like to do, miscellaneous. So that's basically a really low priority thing. I guess technically you could consider some of the business setup and research to be something that I'm working on, but I don't know, I'm more classifying projects right here, so maybe we'll talk more about that stuff in the next video or something. I don't know, we'll see. So that means my main things that I'm working on is Blockworks, Rotate, and these vlogs. Now let's see how much time they each require me to take for each one. Okay, let's just start with the simple one. Okay, these vlogs is just every Sunday, so that's not very much time. It's just something I do on the day. I record it usually Sunday morning, upload it sometimes before noon, sometimes early in the afternoon. I think the latest was, well, actually there was one time I had to release it and it was at night because it was a busy day. But anyway, it's always just a Sunday thing. I never pre-record, I never do anything like that. It's always meant to be something really simple every Sunday. That's it. Okay. Now, Rotate and Blockworks, those are the big things. Let's see where those fit in. And actually, I am going to go ahead and just erase and start with these. So we got Blockworks, and we've got Rotate. Wow. I need to learn how to use this thing better. Alrighty. Now, what will they each require? That's the thing. Okay, first of all, what are they each? Blockworks is obviously a pretty long-term project. Rotate is a brief thing. It'll just require the time to finish all the design stuff and really get that going, and then do the actual development. And I would think that would take just over a month, maybe 2 for the size of the game it is. I'm gonna say probably towards the 2 months because of, well, inexperience. I however, do have plenty of experience underestimating time frames, so that's why I'm saying probably about 2 months of work. So, of course I don't know. But Blockworks is definitely a long-term thing. It's ongoing. So, what I mean by that is it's going to be something that I'll be working on for an indefinite period of time, doing updates and stuff, just maintaining the game, and being active in the community and all that. So this is something that's going to be definitely kind of a commitment, but a long-term stretch. So it's not something that necessarily needs lots of attention at the beginning, but then again, maybe it does. So let's think about how this goes. Okay, Rotate is just a simple thing. It's just me working on it. So it's just me. Now, Blockworks is me and 2 other people. So that means 3 devs working on the game. So that's me, Alex, and John, our server programmer. So that is obviously a difference right there. Just one person, me, so I can manage my own time and figure out everything without trying to worry about team management. Blockworks, there's obviously that element there. So Rotate, it's one solid chunk of development. Once I get into it, I don't want to go intermittent, on and off, bouncing back and forth between like Blockworks and Rotate. That I don't want to do that. So it's one chunk of work. But Blockworks, it's going to be a little different because we've got a start time. We need to get the game up to the point where it kind of represents what it needs, well, what it's trying to be. So there's going to be a chunk at the beginning, well, a chunk at start, but then everything else can kind of slow down a bit. Obviously, intermittently, we'll speed things up and do a few more updates, and of course, we'll have plenty of community events going on. But the thing is, it's a lot different mechanic right there. Also, let's look at the financial side of things. Okay, Rotate, the model for this is it's a free online game, and it's something that the way I get paid for it is game sponsorship. So I take it to a company. I have some in mind, one in particular, but I take it to them, see if they, well, how much they'd pay for the game. And the general estimate should be that I should be able to get a couple grand off of it. Of course, that's a couple months of work, so that only makes sense. Now, of course, the reason they'd pay me for that is because when they have it on their site, they run ads and they expect to get their money back. If it's a good game, should draw enough players, you get the idea. So, that means Rotate is based on the idea of sponsorship. Now, Blockworks, it's a slightly different model. We might be able to do some sponsorship stuff, but the general idea is that's probably not going to be the main money it makes. The idea of Blockworks is microtransactions, where players can buy items in the game. Obviously, we want to do it balanced. Microtransactions have been totally screwed up many, many times by different game developers. We'd want to do it right and make sure it's fair and that it actually feels balanced. So that's the main way that we're going to be making any money off of that, microtransactions. Now, the thing is, for us to get to the point of dealing with any of the microtransactions, we need to have definitely our business stuff figured out, especially because of the fact that we have 3 devs working on the game. It's not like just me being paid on Rotate, it's whatever stuff we have to figure out there. So this could be a bit of a, well, it's definitely a bit of a question mark right there. So, like, how will that work? I don't know. Now, as far as the sponsorship with just me, I already know most, if not everything, that I need to know to do the basic setup. We don't have to have any real business stuff set up, although the sooner we can get that ready, the better. It basically is just a matter of me going to them and them paying me directly. It doesn't have anything to do with Liable Studios necessarily, although future projects we will really try to work this stuff out. But obviously, I'm really new to this stuff, and I'm just trying to get started. So, let's figure this out now. Okay, so sponsorship is relatively simple. I already know how to do most of it. Now, obviously, Blockworks is going to be a bit more of a challenge as time goes on. There's a lot of variables of things that could go wrong, things that could go well, but with Rotate, it's relatively simple. It's really just me making a simple game and getting paid for it. Now, obviously, with Blockworks, there is this chunk at the start that it kind of changes things a bit, because looking at this directly, just seeing this list of everything that goes into each one, it would make sense to start on Rotate and get that done first before even trying to do Blockworks. But the thing is, for a game like Blockworks to really do well, it needs a good period of time to really get started and to just be out there. So that's why we were first working on Blockworks for a little while, and we got that first version out there, and we've been trying to work on some updates. Because we need to get a good established game so people can see really what this game is meant to be, so it can continue to grow. So we're trying to figure out how all that needs to be balanced. So let's kind of switch over to more of a timeline and try to figure out how this works. So, okay, obviously we are pretty late in the year. It's September, well, nearly the end of September, so that means just 3 months left. October, November, December. That is the rest of this year. So we've got October, November, December. Those are the 3 right there. And then we've got the end of the year. January, February, March. You get the idea. Anyway, so let's just do a bit of a line right here. As I've said, I am not experienced with this drawing tablet, so this is going to look terrible. So now, this is going to be 2018 right here. Let's figure out how all this stuff lines up, okay? So we've got September is where we're at right now. Right near the end, right there. Okay, now, that's where we're at right now. October, November, December are all right there. And we got January, February, March, and so on. So, obviously we've been working on Blockworks for a while, and on Rotate, it's mostly just been prototype stuff and concept art. So, let's see. So we've been working on Blockworks. This will be Blockworks. And this has been going for a little while. But the thing is, it's been kind of intermittent. We haven't really been working on it constantly. It's just intermittent. So basically, what I think from here, we need to take with Blockworks and look at and make the game, well, basically shape the game into what it's meant to be. So people can kind of see the general idea of what this game is, what makes it interesting and unique and fun to play, and what does it offer that's different from any other game. So we need to take a little time and really get that worked out. We need to basically just spend some time to make the game what it's supposed to be. So now, where does Rotate fit in? Well, okay, my birthday when I turn 18, which is kind of what I'm using as a marker, because it's going to make things a little simpler with everything financially, especially. So I'm going to just use that as a marker. It's basically beginning of November right here is when I'm 18. Now, that'll make things a little easier so I can get the financial stuff figured out more independently and more easily. So, the idea was to start on Rotate as soon as possible and to get it out. Now, if I was talking, it would take about between 1 to 2 months. That means it could potentially even go into the beginning to mid December, depending on how long we spent on Blockworks. So this could be a little crammed toward the end, but that isn't necessarily horrible. There are some projects that I'd like to be able to do in the meantime. There's little things, intermittently, just small things. But then, like in December, I don't know if you guys know, but I have a Minecraft mod, a Christmas mod, and I was going to be doing an update, so I'd like to be able to take some time for that in December. So I've got the Christmas mod that needs to go in here somewhere. And then got all the wrong buttons. I'm not used to the software either. So anyway, so rotate has to go in here somewhere too. So where do these overlap? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So if rotate's going to take that time, we need to make sure we get on this Blockworks update as soon as possible. We need to really make a solid version that represents it, so we can potentially take a little bit of a breakthrough here, potentially up to 2 months, or even 2.5, up to the beginning of 2018. I don't know how this is all going to work. For all I know, it won't. We'll see what Blockworks has to do. So I really don't know how that's going to work. Now, I definitely have plans for 2018. Have some games, especially one big one to start with. I don't know that I want to talk about this just yet, but we will discuss that later. Because obviously that's going to change a bit depending on what's going on here. I don't want to get too overambitious and try to plan out everything in the future like I've done before. I have a general idea of what I'd like to work on at those times, but we really need to stay focused on these. So, Christmas mod, that is something that definitely needs an update, so I need to make sure I give enough time to that. So, that means that of course I need to give enough time to rotate, and to have enough time for rotate, we need to get Blockworks going right here. So, really, I think we're going to be sticking with the plan of working on Blockworks for a little bit to get it more accurately representing what Blockworks is even meant to be. So I think that is going to be the plan for now, is basically work on Blockworks for a little bit, and then as soon as possible get swapping over to rotate and really crank down on it, get it working, getting the game finished and polished up and ready for the sponsorship, so I can start actually making money, hopefully, in time. So yeah, I'd like to make at least a bit this year, and if rotate's the only thing that makes money this year, that's fine. It's at least a start. So I haven't really made any significant money in the past, so it's going to be a pretty big deal. Because if I can really get this working, it makes things a lot easier. I don't have to worry about trying to get a job or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't be too against some of that, but it would make things a whole lot easier if I didn't have to worry about all that nonsense. So let's just try to stay focused and work on Blockworks for now, but really work on it really fast, because I need to work on rotate. I need to really be able to get to that if I'm going to be able to get it done by the end of the year with enough of a buffer zone for the Christmas mod. So that's the basic idea right now, is work on that so I can do that, so I have enough time for that. So yeah, I think that is going to be it for today. I'd like to kind of continue this next week, potentially, maybe get into a bit more of the financial side of things. I don't know. I'd just like to get into more detail as time goes on. But I think this week we're going to really try to get focused on Blockworks and try to get that update out as soon as possible. Now, as far as exact dates, I don't know when we could have the update done. I mean, we might need a full week for that. We might need more. I don't know. We'll see. But we really need to get this moving really fast so I can work on rotate. Because I don't know, will it take just 1 month? Will it take 1.5? Will it take 2? I can't really let it take more than that, because otherwise I would have to split this off and move it to the beginning of 2018, which means I'm not making any money this year, and then I'd have to really rearrange some stuff. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully Rotate goes nice and quick and I can get started on it soon enough. So I think that's the idea for now. So I think I'm gonna leave the video off here. Hopefully this gives you a better idea of what's going on and what my plans are with all this stuff. Yeah, obviously I'm just trying to get started. I'm trying to apply what I've learned and what skills I've acquired, particularly in game dev, because that's the biggest thing that I've been focusing on for all these years of me playing around with all this stuff. I've talked a bit in the past about how long I've been doing all this, and I'd really like to be able to continue this. So my biggest problem right now is trying to actually stay focused and determined and actually get some drive to really execute this plan. And that's, I guess, going to be just a continuing challenge, something that I'll have to work out over time and really deal with. So yeah, hopefully things change pretty soon. Who knows what will be happening throughout this week and into next. We'll see. So I guess in the next video I'll give you guys an update on what happened throughout this week, how much progress we'll be able to get done on Blockworks, and then who knows what will happen after that. So yeah, I think that is going to be it for today. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. I will get back to you. And if you have an idea for a video, then you can also mention that down below as well. Like, you have any questions that you want me to answer in a video, anything like that. So I'd definitely like to get a bit more engaged in the comment section. So go ahead and leave any questions or just any comments you have down below. So anyway, if you could leave a like, that'd also be great, and definitely subscribe for more content from me in the near future. So yeah, I'll see you around. Goodbye.